Hi, Kathy here with You Compose. All right, so let's continue on. In our last video, we were working in low G position. We learned the low G scale. And so today I want to put those chords back together, and I chose 3/4 time. So let's build the one chord on G is G, B, and D. And let's put dots after them because that gives it that extra beat there. We need to put a stem on that and it will look like that. So that fills up that measure, 3 beats to the measure. Dotted half notes get 3 beats. So there's your one chord. Let's build the 4 chord. We know there's your G scale. Remember, G, B, D, C, E, F, sharp, and G. So this G, B, D is our one chord. And then if you go up 4, C, E, G will be your 4 chord. C being the root of the 4 chord. If you go up one more, then D is going to be the root of the 5 chord. And the 5 chord is D, F sharp, and A. And that's what I'm spelling out up here on the board. So the low G chord is your one chord. And going up 1, 2, 3, 4, C is the root. And we're going to build up in thirds. And we're going to put the stem down this time. And there's your C chord or 4 chord. And then let's just do the 5 chord. D is the root of that D chord or 5 chord. And remember that F sharp that's up there in the key signature will be sharped. So there's your one chord, low G, C, 4 chord. D chord is your 5 chord. And we'll just end it on the G chord, of course, which is your one chord. All right, so that's just kind of a quick review of where we left off in last video, working with low G scale in G position, low G position. So let's add a little tune to the right hand. Now I chose 3/4 time. So let's say that we've got a little dance going. 1, 2, 3. That's a typical waltz pattern. So let's add, we've got G, B, D. So we could choose any one of these chords. Let's say we're going to choose G. And let's choose B and go back to G. All part of the one chord. So there's your G, B, D moving in third intervals. So we may have a little pattern going here of third intervals. Let's see if this works here. We have the 4 chords, C, E, G. So let's say we have C, let's do a G because it's still in here as well. That G there belongs to the 4 chord. And we need an E. So it looks like we can continue to work in third intervals because G is in the 4 chord and E is in the 4 chord. And we already have our C there, this is a strong 4 chord in root position. So then we're going to move on to the 5 chord, and don't forget we have to sharp that F sharp. So if we have an F up here, we need to make sure we sharp it. So we have D, F sharp, and A. So we have this nice third interval pattern going here. So maybe we should put an F sharp here and an A. And we're going to come back to G. So we might D, F sharp, A. I think we probably should just come back down to F sharp. That's a strong third interval. And we're going to end on then G. Let's hear what our song sounds like. Our little waltz. So again, the left hand is the one chord on G. Then we move to the 4 chord, which is a C position chord. We move to the 5 chord. We have that F sharp in the 5 chord. And then we move to G. All right, let's add the right hand. guess I was trying to feel like if I was dancing to that. Now see, that would feel more like I was dancing, and what I did, all I did to change that up is I broke up the G chord. So I turned that into a quarter note, and I took the B. So I took the B and the D and played them together, and it still worked with the right hand, and I liked it so much better for using it as a little dance. There's your C, E, and G, and it all works because all these notes belong to each other. They belong to the chord that's represented in the measure. Now you can have more than one chord per measure, but these are like beginning lessons to help you write. So I'm just giving you the basic ideas of how to put your chords together and make those smooth transitions. So we need a D, don't we? I'm talking here, forgetting what I'm doing. We'll put that down because we're going to use F sharp and A, F sharp and A, and then we're back to, we'll just make this, let's break it up and keep our little rhythm going. G, our little dance. Oops, don't finish it off here. All right, now let's hear what that sounds like. Like I said, I just kind of played it without writing it out, and I think I'll like it better. Because the left hand really gave it the lift to the dance. 1, 2, 3. And the way I got that even more is I made the beat stronger on the first beat of each measure, and beats 2 and 3 were a little lighter, and that gave it a strong little dance rhythm. So those are some ideas, and that worked out pretty well for 3/4 time. I actually liked that. Let's move on to something in 4/4 time. And then I think my next video, I better introduce 6/8 time, and we'll keep learning as well with new time signatures. Remember, just briefly too, just to talk a little theory here, when you have a G clef and F clef put together like this, and technically it needs a little brace like that, and that's called a grand staff. And then, of course, we have the key signatures right here, and we have our sharp there up in the key signature, so we know that we're in the key of G. And then when you see an F, and normally we would mark it in a different color. I didn't do that in the previous board, but that reminds us to be sure and sharp that F. And the reason why I like you to go ahead and to mark these notes that need to get sharped is because we're creatures of habit, and if you forget to sharp it, you're telling your brain that don't sharp it. Anytime you play something wrong, you're learning it wrong. That's why it's better just to go real slow and very accurate and try to prevent any wrong practice when you're learning songs. So let's see what the bass is here. So we could just add a G, and we could make them a whole notes. We could add an E, because it's part of the C chord. Again, it's just 1, 4, 5. We could add a D here, because D, F sharp. And we could add a G on top. Let's see what we've got. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So there was a quick one just to end off the video. You could turn these into quarter notes and put a little more interesting right hand, but we ran out of time, and I hope you have fun with it. So I hope you're doing well with if you're using